Okay, so this first is a compound sentence. The compound sentence contains two independent clauses. So, let's see, Evan, come on up. You're going to just worry about diagramming the two clauses themselves. Don't worry about the but just yet. We'll diagram that in a moment. But right now, just worry about those two clauses. You know what? Tell you what. For smartboard ease, diagram it in the middle, then we can group it and move it all out of the way. The wonderful thing about diagramming is you don't have to, on a smartboard, you don't have to pre-plan the arrangement. You just diagram a portion, shrink it, move it out of the way, diagram another portion, then assemble them all at the end. It's okay. The recorder, as usual, is making everything a little bit jumpy. It's good enough. Good. Go ahead and put that down. And, we lost the IC. See, and then we put it out of the way. Now you can... Put your finger up a little bit. There you go. Nicely done. Perfect. Go ahead and have a seat, Evan. Thank you very much. So at this point, diagramming those should be relatively easy. You should be able to just kind of fly through those diagrams. Open your Warners and find a diagram that will show you how to diagram that but conjunction. Zach, what page? Oh, yeah, go ahead. Zach? 67. Yep, that one on the bottom is pretty complicated, but that will show you how to diagram that but. Come on up, Zach. Diagram the but. It's a wonderful statement taken out of context. I'm glad Zahara's laughing. Perfect, Zach. Nicely done. Let's take a look at what Zach has done. First of all, when you have a coordinating conjunction, remember, you know them all. When you have a coordinating conjunction, you use this kind of jogged line structure. That structure indicates it's a coordinating conjunction. It also tells you that this and this are both independent clauses. So use that jogged line. You'll see some diagrams in there with just straight lines with conjunctions on them, not for coordinating. For coordinating conjunctions, you use this. Also notice it has connected verb to verb. Do not connect them elsewhere. With this type of diagram, with the compound sentence, verb to verb connection. Abby, you had a question. Yes, it's always, well, for this it is. In other types, we'll see where it connects differently. But for compound, verb to verb, one last observation. Doesn't matter which is on top. They are equal. No one of these clauses is superior to the other. So it doesn't matter which one goes on top. Katie?
I don't understand, like, why we put what for the verb to be. Like, it just seems like it is the joke. Launched.
Okay. Sentences like this are all about the statement of what's happening, right? So a sentence, if I say, I dropped the book, it's not about me, it's not about the book, it's about the action of me dropping the book, right? That's the core of the sentence. So the core of that first sentence is not the sarcastic cat, it's not the joke, it's the launching of the joke. So the sarcastic cat launched a joke. Launched is the power word in there. In the second one, it missed the oblivious dog. It's not about the joke, it's not about the dog, it's about it missing the dog, that action. So the most important word in there is missed. So if you want to connect the most important part of this clause to the most important part of this clause, connects at the verb. Does that make sense? Okay, there you go. Come on up, Hunter. Do the same thing that we did before. Do what Evan did, and then everybody else, we're going to look for a diagram in Warner's that will help us understand the after. Yeah, Bailey.
I was just wondering, what's the difference between when you use a slanted line and a straight up line?
Oh, on the regular baseline? The slanted indicates that that's a linking verb. So the verb is like is, or was, or be, or feel. And the straight up and down is an action verb. So launched, said, kicked, read, these are action words. Tap off. Now do it. It's okay. Fumble, it's quite acceptable. I do love Hunter's diagrams. They may take a little bit more time, but they are pretty.
Is that up and down, or
That's a straight vertical. Lizzie?
in a simple sentence, can you have a linking verb and a direct object?
No, you can have let's see. A linking verb and an indirect object? No, linking verbs will always lead to your predicate adjective or your predicate nominative. So I feel happy, I am a teacher. These are both linking verbs that lead to nouns or adjectives. What you can have is an action verb that leads to a predicate adjective. Here's how it works. The diagramming lesson made me happy. Made is an action verb, right? Right. Happy is an adjective, isn't it? Me. I'm not being made. I'm indirect object. Correct? So it's making something for me. It's making this happiness for me. So me is an indirect object. Happy is a predicate nominative. I mean predicate adjective, because it's an adjective over there.
Oh.
That's what's called an objective complement. Okay, so if you ever see somebody talking about objective complement, that means it's an action verb that actually has an adjective on the other side. But the other one you talked about before doesn't happen. No, looks good. You got space. Just move it out of the way. What? You were.
No, I don't want to.
Okay. Notice, interestingly, that he decided to diagram the second clause first. There's no reason why you would have to diagram the first clause first. I know a lot of you are going to say, hey, I have to go in order. No, you don't. You just have to diagram. You don't necessarily have to diagram first word first or first clause first. Here, I got it. It's falling out of alignment. Yeah, there you go. He's almost finished. Has anybody found a diagram in Warner's that seems to work? Katie, what you got? 62, 63. The 62 one works. You want to try it? Once he's finished with his clauses, you can see how to, you can try to join them. Beautiful. Right, but that's what Katie's going to diagram. Thank you very much, Hunter. Nice work. Katie, go ahead and diagram the after.
Can you take our next diagramming test like on the computer?
I'll consider that.
Okay.
I'll consider it. There you go. That's it. Nicely done. So after is indicating what? What kind of information is it giving you? When. So time, right? So after the dog flashed a confused grin is giving time. That means that this entire clause, after the dog flashed a confused grin, is what type of clause? Adverb clause. Thank you. There are three types of dependent clauses: adverb, adjective, and a noun. This is an adverb clause. Why did Hunter keep cat shook on top and dog flashed below? Christian? Yep. Dependents go below, independents go on top. Why? Because dependents are less important and they modify. This modifies that. Remember what we learned in modification? The modifier goes below. This modifier goes below. This modifier goes below. This entire sentence, or this entire clause is a modifier, so it falls below as well. So remember what I just said. This one doesn't matter because they're both independent. They're equal. They're parallel. This one, after is subordinate. It's dependent, so it goes below. Aaron, I think you were last to touch your nose, so why don't you come on up and work on these. Oh, don't worry, I'll get Lizzie and Chad after. Come on. Besides, you get the pretty easy one. I'm going to align this for you. Yeah, you did. Aaron, your task is just to diagram the clauses. You don't have to worry about joining them. I'll give the joining to Chad or Lizzie, depending upon, what I'm feeling like. Aaron is diagramming Cat walked home first. Now, I want you to think carefully. What is home? What is home? Where walked, right? So, oh, no, it's not. Oh, yeah, the goes below there. However, oh, hold on. Home is not an adjective. It's not a preposition. It's not an adverb. It's a noun. Yes. What Aaron's doing is diagramming home as an indirect object. Couldn't you just as easily say the cat walked to home? Yes, Mr. Clarkson. Okay, good, good. And indirect objects are just those words that are in to or at or for phrases. Like, I bought the gift for my father, or say, I bought my father a gift. Works the same way there. So it's an indirect object. See? So you got the first one. I told you, they're easy. That was the most difficult one on here. Okay. Tiny, go away. I like it.
The diagrams look prettier than mine.
They're definitely faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Help her out. Zahara. Yep, prepositional phrase. Modifying how old? Very good. So just erase that upper vertical, that little line next to how old. We don't want to confuse anybody. Good. And then go ahead and good. All right. Yes, very good, very good. What type of word is not? What kind? Which is called what? An adverb. Thank you very much. It's an adverb. Adverbs drop below verbs. Not does not go on the same line. It goes below. Yes. Yep. All right. Yeah, see, I told you it was easy. Read me. Okay, Chad and Lizzie, come on, teamwork. Let's see you work on this. Remember that compound complex sentences are nothing but combinations of what's before. So if you want to scroll through to the other slides to see what we did before, you're welcome to do that. Hunter.
Zach and I are having an argument about free will versus determinism.
Okay.
And I'm arguing that we're all in an incompatibilist state where free will doesn't exist.
Okay.
Because our actions are predetermined.
Okay.
by the chemical system.
Okay.
I sense
it's
it like,
dependent on free will.
because depending on what you're raised, it changes how you think.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Like, it's what
Okay. If you're correct, is it going to have any impact on the way you make decisions?
No.
Or if you're correct, is it going to have any impact on the way you make decisions?
maybe.
How?
If he's correct, I can't make decisions.
So you're just going to stop and sit on the couch and not do anything for the rest of your life?
Any decisions, they'll already be made for me.
Zach, I highly doubt it. I understand that's determinism. I'm not talking about you individually as a psychologically unique individual. You're going to stop making decisions because you found out the hunter's correct.
Yes.
No, you won't. Stop being contentious. It's like a freshman philosophy class. Point is, and we could talk about free will determinism arguments all day. And you know what? I've spent years taking philosophy classes doing this. It gets old really fast. Nobody can prove either point because at some point they're unfalsifiable theories, and it doesn't have an impact on the way people live their lives. Therefore, I don't care which of you is correct.
Not caring means he has a choice.
No, not
Because he could care.
It was predetermined that he was.
Let's do some more narration here. So first of all, they've got the and, which is a coordinating conjunction linking two different independent clauses. And they've done that totally properly. They've joined the two verbs. Works well. Now they've got to think about two could not agree. What do you think? It is a dependent because. Mhm. Where do you want to join it? Good, yeah. You can put it below and off to the side a little bit, that'd be fine. Yeah, that works. Look at the I think that just went right past you. Lizzie's mad smartboard skills. Nice, good job. Yeah, it's perfect. A little bit scrunched, but it's perfect. Let's expand this so we can see what they did. All right, so let me point out the important portions. We've got and joining the two independents at the verb. They decided that because tells you why the cat walked home. So it's subordinate to the verb walked. You connected at those two places. In previous class periods, people have said, well, yeah, but isn't it also the reason the dog howled? That is true. So if you were to join it here, that would be equally acceptable. You could have thrown that dependent clause up to cat walked or down to dog howled. Doesn't really make a difference. I would go with cat walked also simply because they're next to each other in the sentence. Technically, it doesn't make a difference. What does make a difference is that this dependent clause falls below that independent clause. And just to make space, they put it below and off to the side a little bit. So that works. Okay? What is different? Zach? The clause has one clause has interrupted another clause. That is true. There's another significant difference. Well, right. In the middle, it means the subject and verb have been separated. Ferret met. You would diagram the ferret met him at the door by itself, and you diagram the other one. Evan, do you see the... That's true. There's one independent clause. Something else substantially different.
Is it because there's like
That is correct. The which serves as both conjunction and subject of that clause. So that's correct. Which makes it what type of clause? It's a dependent, but what type of dependent? There are three types of dependent clause. What type of dependent clause is it, Zach? Modifying what? Correct. It's an adjective clause modifying ferret. Abby, come on up. Be fine. Yeah, of course. Please do. I would recommend both. Yes, that's correct. Him is the direct object receiving the action. Perfect. Why don't you do that, and I'll group it. Oh, it's already grouped. You wrote it so quickly that it just joined it all together. Look at that. Nice. Okay, somebody, pause there, Abby. Somebody find the diagram. There's got to be a diagram in the Warners that can help. What do you got, Christian?
Page 67.
67. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Oh, oops. Thank you. I tried. Go put the pen down, please. That's all right. Not a problem. Thanks. Oh, wait a minute. You did that again. Nice. It's modifying ferret. That's it. Perfect. Nicely done. There we go. Yay, rah for everybody, actually. Good job, Abby. The sentences that compose the compound complex sentences really are just the same kind of sentences you've been diagramming. So when you're diagramming something like this, you're not doing anything new. The only thing new here is the joining method. And there are several different joining methods because there are several different types of compound, complex, and, well, I'm sorry, complex sentences. So you should know those different types. But notice here what we already observed, which is not only the joining word, it is also the subject of the clause. So nothing goes here because it's more important that which go in the subject position. One last one, and I'm just going to rush through this myself because we don't have all that much time to work through student for this. We should praise whoever reads for pleasure. Jenna, what is my dependent clause here? That's correct. So I've got we should praise as my independent. Stupid thing. Does anybody know what it's doing in the sentence?
Acting as the direct object.
That's correct, it's a direct object. Now we have a noun clause.
You can't diagram it as a direct object of one.
Nope. That's it. This is a clause which must pop above the line. Hunter asks, why can't it just be right here on this line? Because then you know what you'd have? You'd start to have multiple subject-predicate divisions, and you wouldn't know which is which. In order to keep them organized, which is subject-predicate, which is which, you've got to take this clause and separate it from the other. You don't want to have two baselines on top of each other. And now you know why we have this little triangle down there. And you can probably see an example of this on page, let's see where we got it. 60, nice. 59, 60, and 61. Okay, that was fast, but that's how you work it. Questions? Chad?
I want things like a noun, what do you say, noun adjective or
A noun clause? That
That's a noun clause or like a adjective clause.
How do you know it? Okay, depending upon what it's doing in the sentence. Hunter said this is acting as the direct object. Direct objects are always nouns. If it's acting as the subject, a subject is always a noun. So ask yourself what it's doing. With the previous clauses, we were saying, hey, what is because doing is telling me why this action happened. That's an adverb sort of thing. What is this doing? It's telling me which ferret. That's an adjective sort of task.